It's a dark, moonless night. You're walking down a lonely alley. A gust of wind sends a shiver down your spine. That's when you hear it. A voice, sweet, full of longing, calling your name. You hear the footsteps. What do you do? So, creeped out yet? In this episode of Padhaku Panda's Halloween special, obviously, we discuss our own personal encounters of the paranormal kind. It's going to get creepy, it gets freaky, but the best part is, all of us discovered something that is far scarier than any ghost could be. Or is that the worst part? Actually, I have a really personal story. It's about my grandma. It's something that she told me. It's about our family. So she always used to tell me that my uncle, that's her eldest son, she's like, I know that he is a reincarnation of a soldier. And as a kid, I never questioned it. I was like, oh, hoga. So, but then I remember a little older when I asked her, like, why? Why do you say that? Like, why do you believe it? Because every time, like, he's also part of the armed forces even now, my uncle. So every time he would do really well or, like, get a promotion or get a new rank, she'd be like, oh, it has to be because, you were a soldier in your last life and you deserve this, right? So I asked her once, like, why do you think that way? And she told me this really, hauntingly beautiful story. She was like, when he was really small, like 2-3 years old. Now, this is a child who has not been exposed to what a gun looks like. A 2-3-year-old, no matter what background, does not know what a gun looks like.
And we're talking about like many years ago. So
there's no TV, there's only like radio, right? So
no internet, no smartphone.
Nothing. You don't know. A 3-year-old, even now, I would be hard pressed to find a 3-year-old who could draw a gun. Right?
हो जाएगा अभी तो बहुत now it will be very like today I would not be surprised if a kid knows about say guns and tanks, at least from the comical perspective of because of phones and games. But back in the day, no way, man.
There was just no visual aid for that sort of a thing. And so she said that my uncle used to constantly draw an image of a tank, like a scribble of a tank, like repeatedly, and he would gasp for air, like pretend or maybe he was actually feeling it, we don't know, and he would say मेरे छाती के ऊपर से टैंक गया, छाती के ऊपर से टैंक गया, like over and over again, and she used to
actually so that's interesting because this we generally talk about ghost stories or like the paranormal in a third person, but in our case this is one of our family stories where we have like my grandmother was like she was like 100% this is rebirth because she would tell stories of how he knew how to tie his boots properly on his own. Nobody taught him. Like instinctively he would do like he was meant for the like he was all like from a child only. It was like he was always a soldier. And my uncle did very well in the armed forces. He was like a very very well decorated officer. He went up to rank of a general, but it's like, and he has always been comfortable in that space. You know how some people are like built for something.
So there are all these small things. Like what clearly stood out to me is that
the chest
thing obviously would stand out to me. But she would mention like other small aspects of why she believed that it was. And you know what?
But as creepy as hell, man. Because even as a kid, I was like, because
like what logical explanation could you have for this?
And the 3-year-old that too, and it's a very violent image, right? What the child is describing. A 3-year-old is saying the tank went over me.
And like living that, like not saying that this happened casually or like in play, breathing that way and being like, I felt it, like I'm feeling it over and over again.
Talking about my grandmom, so since we are already here, we'll just take it forward because these are first-hand ghost stories. So
go around the table and ask you guys.
If you have had like your if you had any first-hand, and I guess second-hand, I guess it's just grandmom. So the thing is, so there's this place called Lansdowne in Himachal. Okay, it's like a hill station, small hill station, army camp. So my grandfather was also in the army. Wow, we came far. I'm in a podcast.
He was in a war.
Great times. So some grandfather got posted there and they got a house. And my grandmom said that when she entered it, she didn't feel something was off about it. Like she just did not like the vibe of the place, and she was like, okay, fine, whatever. You're in the army, you live with what you get. So she set it up. But the thing is, she always felt that something was super off, right? Like there's one night, my grandfather was constantly in field. Field means he's not in the station. He's gone for like army exercises, not there, just not present.
So whenever an officer in this field, you can presume he's in a certain level of like uncertainty or danger. Like the family is not comfortable.
That's not. I mean,
sort of that way,
sort
right?
of.
Like field is considered a stressful posting, whereas the other way.
But he's not feel that's not the thing. He's just not there. That like
Not available.
what I'm trying to say is Lansdowne. Man, he was just not around. I'm not talking about field though. Like he was just like he was busy in the hospital, so he's just like not around much, right? So what happened is that there were series of incidents in that house that was like although the house was trying to harm them. For example, like she was like the lights went off one day and she was like going with a lantern and it just randomly exploded. Completely exploded.
So this is like the old glass lantern, right?
Correct.
So if that explodes, it's like shrapnel.
Correct. It went everywhere, and my uncle, the reason he got saved as a child because it was at his height because he's carrying the lantern, that he was wearing a really thick sweater, so like all the things just got embedded in it, like barely touching him. But on the other hand, he was doing something else again related to glass. One of the windows was broken, and the kitchen windows, and he just wanted to give his mom something, so he put his hand in, it just slits his vein, and luckily like there was one of those guys was one of those helpers, sahayaks was there, and he just lifted him and ran to the hospital, like just lifted him up, held his hand so that there's no blood loss, and ran to the hospital. And then my grandma was getting very perturbed in the house. She's like, what happened? Like,
And there was another incident, same house. So like our mom is the youngest in the family, and she was like a baby, like a toddler at that time. And in one of the rooms, like my grandma used to say, anyway, whenever the baby used to enter the room, she used to cry. She used to not like it. But I was doing something, so like I kept her on the bed, and I went to do something. And so like literally, I came back because she started crying really loudly and picked her up, and like a part of the ceiling like fell.
whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, and
So-
and that was the last
Straw, yeah, it's just like creepy house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, so it just the house gave bad vibes. So like none of these incidents can really be explained as paranormal, but the way it occurred, the general sense of discomfort, my grandmom, there's something off about the house. But this is where the creepy part comes in. So then she finally confronted my grandfather. She's like, dude, what's up? I don't want to live here. Something's happening. You're not telling me something. Something's what the hell? So apparently, then my granddad went, hey, actually,
I didn't want to
worry you, but like back in the day, like this house belonged to like a British officer, and his wife committed suicide,
She hung herself.
hung herself, and in the same room where my mother used to cry as a baby,
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
bad vibes, and then my grandmom got pretty mad at my granddad, and that's another funny story.
Things were said.
Yeah.
things were thrown.
But again, like I find like these are those really weird intersection of stories, because generally when you read about them, there's always like distance, right? Where you want to be like, haha, there are like so many reasons why this could not be real. This is not real. You feel something, but now when you have like such quote unquote close encounters or stories from people you trust or believe, then it enters the realm of like this real ambiguity ki actually kya tha. It can easily be very clearly be explained as a series of just bad incidents in that house.
But why are they all happening?
Yeah.
Like,
Why are they
एक दो
targeting
चल ठीक
children?
है, maybe.
Like it's all creepy.
It's all creepy. But here's the thing. I feel some things are just creepy.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel trust your intuition, man. Like I have a strong belief that if you're feeling bad vibes, and there's no other non-hippie way to say it, कि bad vibes है तो कट लेने का, नहीं रहने का.
नहीं सीधी बात.
What about you, Ramanujan?
Okay, so
Encounters of a creepy kind?
I don't know if these are creepy, but I genuinely got scared when this happened to me. Yeah. So there are two stories. So in Pune, famously, there are there's a place called Tamini Ghat which is close by, which is haunted, which is supposed to be haunted.
Correct.
And there is a residency ke piche there's an abandoned mansion. It's called the mansion, right?
Yeah.
So
that's a very what do you call, well-known Pune haunted place.
And I feel like every teenage boy has been there.
Everyone has gone there, man. Everyone, like all of us, like it's a rite of passage in this city. Like everyone goes, like every town, village, city has one haunted place where one night all group of teenagers will be like, हम देखते हो डरता है सब फटी है.
So I had incidents in both these places.
Okay.
Thankfully, I don't do that shit anymore. It's plain stupid. Okay, so one night, group of friends, engineering लौटने बोर हो रहा है, रात को चलो राइड पे जाते हैं. किधर जाने का? We're like, you know what, Tamini is haunted. Let's go to Tamini Ghat. I said, okay, cool. So we went. So there are 6 people, 3 bikes. Now
घाट गए थे रात को बाइक पे.
मत करो, please. Not worth it.
There's no point in dissecting this situation.
No, yeah, let's just continue. Let's
When
continue.
we say don't do it, I was stupid, you don't do it.
Hey, whatever, do it. I don't care. Like, see, here's the difference, man. I'm like, do what the hell you feel like, man. Your life, your choice. You die. Yeah. Like you die, it's on you. But it's fine. Like I just feel.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, like can't take it. I feel certain amount of like I think stupidity and luck का भी एक intersection है. अगर ज़्यादा दूर चला गया तो मर जाता है इंसान.
How simply put, dude. कितना easy है.
Okay, Ramanujan. So you went to Tamini Ghat after a series of good decisions.
So we were riding. Okay, so this is December, so it's pretty cold. Now there is a myth that in the temperatures like drop really bad because it's ghat hai. Suddenly, if you start feeling warm, there's a ghost present there.
अच्छा उल्टा. Okay, get it.
When it's cold, if you feel hot, and then we actually rode by a place, and I was feeling like legit hot. Like I was wearing a sweater and I was sweating inside. Anyway, sweat, but I was sweating inside. Okay.
Inside, दिल से.
What's up? Yeah.
Like it was creepy, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? It's okay. It lasted for like maybe 30 seconds, and it was done. We said, okay, cool. You know what? Nothing. Cool. We'll just go ahead a little bit.
So did you tell your companions this? Your friends?
Both of us. I was sitting pillion, and my friend was riding, and both. I just asked him, "Dekho bhi garmi lag rahi hai?" He's like, "हाँ, मेरे को भी गर्मी लग रही है." But
He's also sweaty muddy or?
No, he's not. He's like, just let's not talk about it. Let's just go ahead. So we went ahead, and we were leading the pack. Like we were the first bike because बाकी लोग की फट रही थी. We said, okay, cool. So we were leading the pack. Now it's clear. There is nothing. Okay? It's clear. You can see everything. Out of nowhere, there is dense fog. And dense as in I can't see, like I could see silhouettes of my friend riding the bike. It was that dense.
Okay.
And जो 40 हमारी कभी. And I'm like his name is Soumya. I'm like, Kaushik गाड़ी घुमा. Kaushik गाड़ी घुमा घर चलती Kaushik. He's like तू
तेल लेने घर चल.
He's like
I like how you guys were the bravest of the cowards.
yeah. Like dude, I'm like just गाड़ी घुमा. It's like नहीं अपन don't. He's like the worst thing you can do is look back. That's the that was his logic. So he's like, dude, there's no fucking way I'm
But
turning
see,
back.
that was also his intuition.
Yeah.
Like that. I feel like if I look back, something will happen.
So he's like, मैं चला रहा है गाड़ी, तू चुपचाप बैठ. And then that fog lasted for like a minute or two, and then it goes. Okay, so then we go a little ahead. I'm like, इधर नहीं रुकने का, बहुत आगे चल उधर. We went ahead. All of us stopped, and like everyone's like, dude, that fog was scary. And okay.
और किसी को गर्मी लगी?
वो पूछा नहीं. The fog trumped गर्मी. So
At
then
least the fog you could see, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
so after that, we just turned and we came back, and everyone was scared that fog milega and we're going to get scared again. When we turned back, no fog, nothing,
You're
all
scared.
clear. It was just that was
That's
just
a good story.
that was just mad, dude. It was weird. We didn't hope for it, but it happened.
So I feel here's the thing. I think it's a human reaction, right? Once you have a threat perception and somebody tells you don't look back, you are done. Like, you cannot. हो गया अभी.
उसी का story है. So another ghat story, very tiny, very small. It is a story of me being an asshole. So me and one of my closest friends were going in a car. We used to go for drives all the time. So he's like, we'll go in this small ghat nearby, near our house. So we go, and he was driving very like आराम से chill. And suddenly I just was like, Aniket, you saw that, right? And he's like, so what? I was like, तूने देखा ना वो आंटी थी उधर, and I don't do this. So he bought it. At first he was like, "Hey, चूता मत मारो, ठीक है?" And I was like, dude, I'm not kidding. There was a lady there. I just want to know if you saw her. Otherwise, I am freaking out because I fucking saw her. And at this point, and I had like a portable speaker, okay, in my hand.
Oh my god. SFX.
Yeah. At this point, Aniket is full. He's like, dude, you're freaking me out. I was like, Aniket, can you please turn around? Because
Just a small interjection. I have to point out the Aniket she's referring to is a giant.
Yeah, he's 6'4".
6'4".
6'4".
So I'm just saying, so him freaking out is no funny. Yeah. So continue.
But he's a fuck too. Like, please.
It's funny though. See, you guys are not allowed to have opinion. Let the audience will though. Yeah. Anyway.
6'4", big dude. And he's like, oh my god, Akanksha, stop this right now. I'm like, I saw it now. If we don't do this, I'm gonna be petrified, dude. Like, can we please at least piche to dekh? And he just turned around to in the car while we a little bit too like as a half. Like, maybe I can get away with this, okay? And I just played a song, but it's got first beat like doom, right? And he was like, went to the side and stopped the car. He was like, just rolling in laughter.
You know, oh shit. You know what? I've started to realize why we are siblings. Because I did something but much worse. Like, much worse.
The last punchline has to come. And then finally I was like, okay, sorry, let's go. He's like, Uttar gaadi se idhar.
You will be the next auntie.
I was like, sorry, we'll go home. And then so I hear him go, fuck. I was like, what happened? He's like, gote udhar hi chhod gaye.
Line. Oh, great line. Love it. That should be on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Road pe ghum rahe hain.
I feel that's a great way to like lose friends. So there's a time. There was a time.
Wow. Like there's some other horror going on.
Oh yeah. Like I didn't know we would go down this road, but okay, now that we are here, might as well. So there's a time when I was like really into biking, and I mean I still enjoy riding, but there's a time I was fully into that culture. So this particular time, I was in with the Royal Enfield guys. I didn't have a bike, Royal Enfield that time, but I was with this whole Royal Enfield club guys, and I don't name the club, but you know, so I'm just saying, so they're like really, so you have to understand, if the Royal Enfield motorcycle club is like a version of like the Harley Davidson club, like they're like macho into 10. Hum men.
Barbecue, meat.
Yeah, and I mean they're chill guys also. But I'm just saying overall, I'm giving an overarching vibe of how the vibe can be, especially when like they get together, you know. So it's one of the reasons why what do you call some of the other guys left because they're like ये बहुत ज़्यादा है मेरे लिए, मुझे bike चलाना है. So anyway, so I'm giving context of कि that's the kind of energy. It's like very macho is like considered it is an important resource, like where you like buy shit with like your macho level is very important. So I was invited to like one party because I was in with them. I was like, you know what, you seem cool and all. I was like, hey, must and went. I am cool. And I went to this place and dude, it was a huge old house, okay, and those British old houses. And this guy's family owned it. Matlab fatte rich, like one of the old Pune rich, okay, like so you have those old bungalows.
Money and spices.
Yeah, ऐसा नहीं money spices नहीं. We must have been like मैं ज़्यादा detail नहीं देना चाहता. But what I'm trying to say is कि old school amazing house, and I love old houses, man. I like their vibe. Yeah. It's probably British bungalow वाला vibe है. Old you know construction. You go there and I'm like, wow man, very great house. Like yeah man, it's very old. He was telling me the story. You're having a great time. And imagine this, okay, this is a random group of some 10 guys. And then we're there drinking, life is going well. And suddenly one guy goes like, hey man, have you heard of this website? And I think it was, at that time it's called Simon Says, some weird name like that. It had Ask Something. Basically one of those creepy websites where if apparently you ask anything, they could give you any answer. And it was just starting, right? It had like that time like, these internet was like deep and mysterious and it can have
Why does this feel like the setting of a B-grade horror movie?
Wait, no, it gets there. So they're like, okay, you know what, man, we'll check it out and तब किसी को imagine मैं अमीर इंसान के घर पे है उसके पास लैपटॉप नहीं है तो कितना पीछे how much back in time we are in. So went to his room, must desktop hai, opened it up, went to his ask something, this creepy website, and that guy entered key questions and all that this person can answer. And dude, I knew how the trick worked. So although I have not started this horror parlor story, so to speak, but this guy, and I know what he's doing. So basically how it works is while you're typing in the question, you also type in the answer. Basically, after you put a question mark, whatever you type is the answer.
Okay.
Oh.
So most of the time, people don't notice that you're typing extra. They only see you typing the question, right? So you can put in the answer there. Okay. So then initially it starts and he's like, okay, ask any question. He's like, okay, how many people are here? 8, 10, and then hey, let me try, or some other person is trying. Then he's like, no, man, you need to have like some kind of like psychic connection or whatever. Sabke saath mein hoga, it decides. So basically, somebody else puts it. It says you don't deserve. I don't want to talk to you.
So it has those
programmed into it.
Answer
So here's the thing, dude. This is the genius of it. He and me had this unsaid connection. We had never discussed it, never played, like never met before. And we both, it was like an improv acting session, man. It was so good. And I sat there and mera ho raha hai. And then suddenly the atmosphere changed. Because I am a random person. That one person they know. And they're like, wait, why is this working? This shouldn't work, right? And I'm like, shit, dude, this is it's too intense. And then the questions start getting more personal and more this thing. And then that person now giving opinions about the people there. And I kid you not, man. I have never seen so many macho men fucking piss themselves. They were legit stressed. Like stressed to the point. And here's how I exaggerate. Like I started acting like I'm getting pissed off. Like it is some kind of
like this is not funny anymore.
Not funny more. And I got really angry and I'm getting like almost pissed off at the host. And the host like, bro, I promise, man. I just went for it, man. We were like, and I'm like going this thing. One of those huge guys always come to restrain me because thinking like things are going freaky. And man, at that same moment, and I thank you God, sometimes luck comes with this thing, the light started flickering in the house.
Oh my God.
Just at that time, bro. So, the guy who owns that house, uski itni fati, he's like, I can't stay. We were all like, fuck it, we're all going. And he's like, bro, but what about me? Mujhe bhi leke jo this that. And then I was like, ye wo. And then in the end, the answers became threats. Then it became, I am here. The last one was, I am here. Right? And then everyone is just freaking out. And that's when me and the other guy realized, I think we have pushed it way beyond we should push it. And then we said, haha, it's a joke. Man, it didn't go well. I think I've never seen those guys again. Like I was out.
They are starting a podcast like, remember that one creep?
Asshole. Dude, it was,
One time.
but they,
Fucked us over.
dude, they were scared.
They're biking, Harley Davidson.
No, Royal Enfield group. Royal Enfield.
Royal Enfield.
No, but so my point is that there's a reason I got boycotted, right? The point is they were scared. Everybody was so scared, and scared with something so basic that it became embarrassing. Like I had put everyone in a very embarrassing situation. Also, in hindsight, it was kind of mean. Because we really pushed it, man. It was not like, and dude, it was like such a good acting session. Me and the other guy.
Carried away with how good it was.
Yeah.
They're all buying it.
Yeah, even like the other guy also like, yeah, we both of. नहीं वो बाद में हमको समझ में आया. So while doing it, I didn't feel much. Afterwards, when like उन सबका ऐसा like they're gone white in the face, man. When that sentence went, I am here.
I am going.
Ramanujan, you had a story about the mansion.
Oh yeah.
Please,
The time
can
when
you-
I literally almost shat my pants. This actually happened. This is way more scary than the Tamil one. It's way more scary.
Completely sidetracked from that.
Yeah.
We heard one story and then we went down. We were
No,
like,
but he
"Ah."
started the mansion story.
No,
that's
no,
it.
you
No, no,
didn't.
no.
You
I did.
just finished the fall story.
I just finished the Tamil
But you
story.
mentioned the mansion story.
I did.
Like मेरे दो story
Story
है.
है.
एक वैसा है, मैं पहले ये बताता
No,
हूँ.
no, mansion.
The interesting part is I want to see how our perception has changed through this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Between starting with like funny ghost stories and now we're like, oh,
Sorry, guys.
end of the world. Doom and
This is a funny story overall. So the mansion in residency, it is. Some people think it's an abandoned church. Some people think it is some lady's mansion who died there, like a horrific death or something. So again, randomly. So this was, I think, after a fest, college fest. We went out. We just went out for dinner and mildly intoxicated. So we were heading back home, and then we see a group of friends, like a group of our engineering students only, were standing like at. So basically, how the mansion is, there's a road and the mansion is a little bit inside. You can see it, but there's like a little bit of dense like plants and foliage, and then you can see the thing. So we see these guys standing at the footpath looking at the mansion. And there are like 7-8 of them and we knew them. So we thought kuch to hua hai, like some accident or whatever. So we stopped. Again, it's me and Kaushal because we do stupid things together. So we stopped and then we asked them ki, what is exactly happening. So they were like, dude, we found this article that said this place is haunted. But we are 8 of us and we are legit scared of going inside. We are like,
So they were together, just like
Yeah.
building up the courage.
Don't tell me you guys were the bravest of the cowards again.
wait, come with So because now Kaushal and I are mildly intoxicated, we don't give a shit. Ghost, idhar aa. मैं देखेगा तेरे को.
Mildly was
Mildly.
we're very mild it seems.
वो हम लोग पहले से पागल है तो just add little bit added to it.
Yeah,
So we're like अरे क्या है चल हम जाएंगे ठीक है. So कौशल ने गाड़ी पार्क किया उतरे मस्त ऐसा वे वेडिंग है चल रहे हैं मस्ती कर रहे हैं ये वो.
And all the 8 guys are
So we just look behind and the 8 of them are like arms locked in arms. They're shuddering and walking inside. ऐसा आठ.
Are they following you?
Yeah, they're like अरे ये दोनों जा
They're
रहे हैं.
following, but they're sticking
हाँ,
together.
they're
like
sticking together
literally.
and they're like shaking and going inside. We're like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's just go. गए अंदर, torch on किया, देखा nice place, nice altar. It's really beautiful. Okay, I want to see it in the daylight also. It's like really beautiful. So we ventured the place and like, अच्छा है, कुछ नहीं है. We can't hear anything, nothing like that. Then I suddenly find a pair of I find stairs. So I said, चलो,
ऊपर, yeah.
हाँ, let's explore. So basically how the stairs was, you climb, there is like one stairs, another stairs, and then it ends with a ledge, right? So I was like, bahar mein gaya. I walked up alone. Big mistake. So I walk up. So I cross the first half. I turn and I'm walking, and then I just look up, and on the ledge, I kid you not, a man, a black figure. It's lying down. So he just sits and he stands up. मेरा सब उतर गया, मेरा फट गया. I couldn't move. And I had a torch in my hand. I could just do this and see. नहीं देखने का मेरे को. I like नहीं देखने का. So I'm like ऊपर जाओ या भागो, ऊपर जाओ या भागो. And then that guy says, भैया कौन हो आप?
Oh my god.
I'm like, भैया आप कौन हो? I'm like, sir, sorry, डर गए तो मैं मजदूर हूँ, मेरे पास घर नहीं है तो मैं हर रात को यहाँ पे आके रहता हूँ. And I'm like, fuck uncle, मार दिए होते मेरे को आज. I'm like, how, dude, that was so. I had a dream about it later also, where that guy's not a mazdoor, like
Yeah,
he's
he's
legit
an
come there to
actual-
kill me. That was the last time, dude.
No, but that was
scary.
intense.
That's the last time, dude. मैं रात को निकलता ही नहीं अभी बाहर. मैं घर पे बैठेगा, नई स्टंटिंग चाहिए मेरे को. हो गया, 2 scary story मिल गए लाइफ में, बस नहीं चाहिए और. Damn, that was bad.
Oh man, oh that is creepy.
It is.
Oh nice, that was the good vibes to feel. What do you Soumya?
So I don't think I have personally gone through any, any supernatural experience per se, but I've always been around people who have. So I think one major place-related supernatural experience that I could have had if I was able to get into that building was that my uncle is an archaeologist and his wife is an art historian essentially, and both of them at least he used to teach at Faculty of Fine Arts in Baroda for a very long time. In fact, he's still like a department head or something there. And they literally on their campus have cordoned off an entire building that is British era built because it is haunted.
Whoa.
Because it is haunted. Like,
when the archaeological survey says it's haunted,
yeah,
you better not fuck with it.
And no one really, yeah. And no one really will tell you anything else. Like, no one will say, this is, like, some people will probably tell you that they're planning to revamp it or whatever, which makes sense. Like, they will at some point, and they're probably doing it right now, or they've done it, I don't remember. But yeah, it was cordoned off, and it's cordoned off like just with ropes and all. It's not like cordoned off ki wahan pe ye. So you can look into that building and it looks beautiful. That building looks amazing from inside, and I was like, I want to see this building, and it's just like no one can go inside. And they used to tell you things like stuff can fall on you and stuff, which is very legit, very scary. But I have heard so many people on that campus only talk about how it is haunted, and it was, I think, probably my first experience where I noticed that adults were talking about it like that. So I was obviously very small when I went there for the first time, and my uncle was showing me around and was showing, introducing me to people and whatever, and that was the first time I noticed that even adults think that this place is haunted. So it wasn't that was the first experience for me which was validated by an adult that ghosts exist.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, "Chal, theek hai, if they are saying it, probably true." But then yesterday, when I was trying to find more interesting stories and stuff like that for the podcast, I started thinking about what scares me personally, and I went into this rabbit hole where I've always thought that supernatural things and things that I cannot control don't scare me as much as actual people do. So serial killers and stuff like that is way more scary than because they have a manifestation. If a ghost was coming to get me, I'd be like, dude, fucking get over it. I can't win against you, right? So I'm just gonna be like, yeah, correct.
It's almost like a natural calamity, right?
Yeah, it's died of ghost attack or whatever. It's like that. What can you do about it? No, but I noticed actually at that moment when I was thinking about that, I've thought about this often, but when I was thinking about that particularly, I noticed that one really mind-bogglingly changing thing for me that happened in my life was the movie Makdi.
Oh, that's a good film.
So that movie, I feel like really pushed that thing in my head ki the scarier part was that she wasn't an actual witch, and she was actually just getting people to find something for her so she can get rich.
Yeah.
And that realization, even when I was littler, was pathetic for me. It was just I can't deal with this. I'd prefer if she was a witch,
But I feel that reality is the reality in our country. When we have so much black magic and tantrics and all these people. So it is a very real thing that evil is a true manifested evil.
Absolutely, yeah.
And dude, in India they cause a lot of chaos. That's a dark scene of tantrics, black magic.
And basically people taking advantage of other people just for money and stuff
More than that,
It's very, that's a deep dark.
So it's just so intense because it kind of is horror only.
It is true horror.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel this ghost and this thing, these are light paranormal. I feel paranormal is interesting because it's like it says, it's outside the bounds of what is considered normal or this thing. But any day, real and present horror is way more scary.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And but dude, the Makdi thing did remind me that was a good scary movie. And I don't watch many scary movies because I'm a fattu. But that was when I did see, and I remember being...
Because it was also advertised as a kids movie, right? Because it was very...
I like it.
I really like that.
It was a great
genuinely
movie.
Scared.
Yeah, and...
Genuinely scared.
I feel this, how humans have a need for all emotions, happiness, laughter. I feel getting scared also is an important emotion that we need to have. It's healthy to be scared. That's why even this genre exists.
Yeah.
Like we want to be scared because being scared puts us, my opinion, puts us in a state of a certain vulnerability, right? Where you can have conversations that normally you otherwise couldn't have had.
Or even just know the fact that your body can still tell you when you should be scared, right? Like that is the best thing of like keeping that emotion sharp. Like,
Correct.
is that if your brain is telling you something is not right, just listen.
You made it to the end of the podcast. That is awesome. Because that was a long ass podcast. But that's what we do at Padhaku Panda. We aim for those 15-20 second TikTok freaking weird ass people. We are here for you. So thank you. So now since you made it, and if you really like this content, which I hope you do because you're here, please hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. That is it's somewhere here. And
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and wherever you listen to your podcast.
So we also have like an audio version, which is great, but this is where the real OGs are at. Yeah. So man, thank you, and I'm glad you're here. And if you still hang out here, I'm surprised.
Please subscribe. Okay.
And if you're already subscribed, share it with your friends. Be like, hey, look at this cool thing I found. And that makes me super cool because you don't know about it. Jo tujhe nahi pata, I don't have a follow-up for that.
Please stop. I am the one who's going to edit this.